Hello and welcome to today's Web News, where we'll be taking a look at some of the stories making the online headlines. Coming up on today's show, controversy in the Philippines over efforts to rehouse victims of Typhoon Haiyan. Athletes worldwide take to the web in the run-up to the Winter Olympics. And Stormtroopers in a pretty polished dance routine. It's now been over 2 months since the deadly super typhoon Haiyan hit the Philippines, and the city of Tacloban is barely beginning to recover. The natural disaster left millions of people homeless, and they've yet to find permanent accommodation. And whilst they wait for new housing to be constructed, something which could take at least 2 years, victims have been living in temporary shelters built by the government. Shelters that have sparked controversy. They were originally divided up into 9 square metre bedrooms, but were deemed too small to accommodate an entire family of 5 on average, so the authorities have been forced to rethink plans and double the surface area. Some of these wooden bunkhouses are still empty and are widely considered to be substandard. These photos that have been doing the rounds on Facebook show a recently constructed temporary shelter that's already been ruined by rain. Something which has prompted local media to investigate the funding of these emergency shelters. Certain politicians have been accused of inflating the construction costs and taking kickbacks on reconstruction projects. Victims of the typhoon are naturally concerned by these allegations of government corruption. One group of people from Tacloban has started a petition on change.org, urging international donors to convince Manila to show greater transparency over how the rehabilitation funds are being used. Olympic athletes have been busy connecting with fans ahead of the Sochi Winter Games, which will run from the 7th to the 23rd of February. Yes, with less than 3 weeks to go, the Jamaican bobsleigh team, for example, which only just qualified for the competition on Sunday, has launched a crowdfunding campaign on Indiegogo because it doesn't actually have enough money to get to Russia. It's raised over $35,000 and counting in just 2 days, although Jamaica's Olympic Committee has since said it will cover all the costs. America's first ever free skiing Olympic team has released this mini-documentary which focuses on training. The film was put together by extreme sport production company Teton Gravity Research and shows how these young hopefuls are working very hard to give themselves every opportunity of taking home a medal in this new Olympic sport. Individual athletes have also personally taken to social networks, sharing details of their Olympic preparation. Super G alpine skier Samir Azimani from Morocco, for example, has posted photos to his Facebook page so fans can see his somewhat unusual training sessions crossing South Morocco in skis on wheels. Norwegian competitor Anders Jacobsen has posted a video to YouTube where he's ski flying with a GoPro camera attached to his helmet, giving fans a real insider's glimpse of what's to come in Sochi. The official Olympics YouTube channel is airing all sorts of videos showcasing the athletes competing. Check out Indian athlete Shiva Keshavan, who'll be competing in luge, for example. Here he is, braving the Himalayas in preparation for the Winter Games.
What we do is we must do with what we have. We don't have a luge track in India, so...
Pollution in China is now so bad that people living in Beijing have to watch the sun come up on a giant screen. Various international media outlets have reported on this over the past few days, and web users have been sharing this photo to attest to the veracity of the information. But as the site Tech in Asia points out, the shot in question is actually a still from an ad aired regularly in Beijing to remind people that although pollution levels are high, you can still actually see the morning sunrise. Residents from Northville in the US have been posting under the Let Tim Play hashtag in support of high school student Tim Monett, who has a rare form of cancer and wants to play for his school basketball team. His request was initially denied as the school authorities felt he'd missed too many classes to be able to take part in sporting competitions. Countless web users have condemned their stance and started campaigning on behalf of Tim, and it's paid off because a week ago he was finally allowed back onto the court. Over the past few years, Canadian artist Francois Brunel has been photographing people around the world who look extremely similar but are in no way related. The Doppelganger project is called I'm Not a Lookalike. It's pretty astonishing stuff indeed, and available to view on francoisbrunel.com. What do the elite soldiers of the Galactic Empire, Darth Vader's Stormtroopers, get up to when they have a bit of free time? Well, if this video, produced by Scott DW, is anything to go by, then they get together and practice new dance routines. You can, of course, check this video out in its entirety on YouTube.
Your twerking caused a great disturbance.